Hello. Hello. Hope everyone's doing well today as we go into the final hour of deadline. I think a lot of people are going to be rolling their free transfers, which is understandable. And for those of you who are new or are usually with me on a Friday, I do usually stream on Fridays around 12 o'clock lunchtime, but I was busy yesterday with some hospital appointments, which went well. Some good results back there. So I thought that I'd do it on deadline. I might as well do a little bit of time now to see if people have got any questions. I think, like I said before, a lot of us are going to be rolling our transfers, but we could some have other questions going into the future and also have a quick review of Game Week 1. So, hi, Krista, hi, Daff. We've already typed in the chat. Hi to everyone else who's also popping in and out. So we'll have a look. Game week 1 for me then, 84 points. Usually in a single game week is absolutely fantastic. Of course, the style that I've gone for is no Bruno and Salah. It wasn't necessarily no Bruno. It was the idea of not having Bruno and Salah. And of course, game week 1, both of them absolutely smash it. But I am saying that it is going to catch you up. You're not going to have these two banging every week. And this is going to be a prime example that for the people who don't have Bruno and Salah, this is our 50-50. So if Salah bangs today with captaincy and Bruno blanks, that gives a huge opportunity to catch up again. So I'm still sticking with that plan. It still gives me the likes of Son and Grealish, Barnes. Overall, good, solid midfield. Good, solid start 11, to be honest. I'm really not worried whatsoever. So I'll start with the 4-4-2. Martinez, disappointing Aston Villa, really disappointing against Watford. Lackluster, you could tell it was a new team, to be honest. Double Liverpool defense getting me 6 points there. One cost me 7.5 million for 6 points. One cost me 4 million for 6 points. Shaw with an unlucky one, in my opinion. Kufal, I've got Antonio, right? And Antonio's got 13 points, which is fantastic. He should have got a 20-pointer. He missed a penalty. And Kufal put it on an absolute plate for Antonio, and he hit the woodwork, and then Kufal gets 1 point. Salah captaincy, Son with a 10-pointer. He has an incredible record against Manchester City, and I think he's going to be a lot of people's third choice captain in today's game. Into game week 2. Grealish with a 1-pointer. I took a punt early that I thought he was going to start. And he did, but City didn't quite look right at the races in that game. Barnes with a 3-pointer, and then my AI smart forwards getting me 20 points between him. Rafinha with 1 on the bench. And I'm also rolling my transfer. I know Veltman's out, but if we go in now, that was the reason I switched to the 4-4-2 over the 5-3-2, because there's some game weeks with 5 at the back where I thought I'm not confident in a clean sheet, but the squad that I've got, I know Veltman's out because of COVID reasons right now, but let's say he was fit and he's got Watford today. The beauty of starting with a 4-4-2 this season, after the likes of Dean, I lost confidence in Digne. Robertson went out with an injury, which made me get Simicast, which meant I could upgrade the rest of my team. But the reason why I think a 4-4-2 is best is the squad that I've got now can easily go 4-4-2, 3-5-2, or 5-3-2 if I need to. It's just unfortunately Veltman has been out for COVID reasons for the first 2 game weeks, and he should be back maybe next week. And then we've got Pariga here, who's my special little card because no one can get him anymore. But of course, he'll be out on a wild card because he's no longer in the Premier League. You can see Kufal or Sufal is on the bench this game week in a 3-5-2, and Salah's my captain. So a lot of people out there are going to be saying, who should I captain? Should it be Bruno? Should it be Salah? And this is where I'm saying it's for me, it's the big problem of having both of them. Not the decision, but the fact that they're both so going to be heavily owned. I genuinely feel so wound up that it's just unfortunate that last week they both absolutely went ballistic. Mega points for both of them, but it's when it gets to normal, I think people start to maybe see the point. Mulder seems Robinson could be back week 3. Will you switch Simicast to someone or just let him be on the bench? Probably on the bench to the wild card, or switch to another 4 million. Hey Kiefer, aren't you doing well? That's my brother-in-law. That. Why Ings? Why Danny Ings? He's got Newcastle at home. So there. I started the season with Danny Ings. This isn't a transfer. Mahrez captain. I like it. We'll get to captain in a minute. Okay, so personally, when I did some questions and things for the scout this week, my simple captaincy for this week, guys, is if you've got Bruno or Salah, captain one of them. If you've got Bruno and Salah, captain one of them. And just be happy. The decision of captaining one of those two players is a very, very top good decision. If you captain Bruno, he does nothing and Salah bangs. That just happens. That's football. That's the game. So if it doesn't work out for you, it's fine. They are the top captaincy options. Would this be the week for me to have the punt to try and do it? No, not yet. Now, if this was next week, and let's say, Salah has Chelsea, and let's say Bruno had City, two difficult games, that's the week where I'm going to start looking at differential captains. But when you've got Salah against Burnley, and when you've got Bruno against Southampton, that's not the week for me to take a punt. So I'm going to be boring with my captaincies when they've got good fixtures, but when it's not looking that good, that's the week I'm going to throw a Mahrez captain in, for example. Son in Greenwood out this week. I personally love Son as an option. I thought Wolves were a lot more solidly defensive. They looked decent in defense against Leicester. We all thought that Leicester was going to win it quite easily. Greenwood, it's a risk, Kevin. I'm not going to lie. Son is the better player. So as a long-term transfer, yes, I would suggest Heung-min Son. But if you can get one more week out of Greenwood up front against Southampton, I'd be tempted. But if you've got, if that's the only transfer, if you've got like 2.5 or whatever in the bank to just go Greenwood to Son, then I would do it. Simicast looked great, was kind of surprised. Rodriff, he attackingly looked great for a decent amount of time, and then when it went towards the end of the game, he was shocking. It was like he was trying to gift Norwich a goal. Milner slapped him up. I think Van Dijk slapped him up as well. Like, he is so gone, I think, next week. Which is fine, because I'm not going to double Liverpool defense against Chelsea anyway. It's okay. And he's already got up 0.1 million. So we're in a good situation where we've not got a 4 million defender that's going to go down to a 3.9. We've got a 4.1 million defender that's just going to go down to a 4 million. So, happy days. No problem there. The only reason you wanted Mahrez preseason was captain him in this game week. But remember, Daff, you can change your decision based on what we've seen. New knowledge, right? And that is I completely get it. But you're going to be so gutted when Man City comes around and he's benched. Or you see Bruno or Salah smash it with that ownership. Let's just have a double check on what the ownership is right now, because it's going to be nuts. Bruno, 58.3%. Salah, 56.6%. So again, guys, I keep banging this drum. Having both of them for me, yeah, they'll get you points. And that's why everyone's saying, oh, yeah, what a week. I've got 90 points. I've got 100 points. This is fantastic. You're not even in the top million because of the ownership. So if this is a week where Salah bangs and Bruno does nothing, this could be the week where I get another 80 points and then all the other people are on 30 or 40 or 50 points, right? So still early doors, but with that kind of ownership, it's huge. That is huge ownership already. So, Daff, what I'm saying about captaincy is I understand you want a captain, but Mahrez is so low owned. Let's have a look at his ownership. 7.9%. That if he does well, let's say he gets 10 points, those 10 points are still going to be fantastic because he's only 7.9% owned. Whereas where I'm saying is if you've got Bruno and Salah, if you captain Salah, Bruno's points are going to be almost nothing for you. So I do like the punt. If you want to attack it, I always say on this channel, play your own way. Play how you want to play. But for me personally, my thing wouldn't be right now to risk the captaincy. Because too many times I fall behind the pack. Now's not punt time for captaincy, in my opinion. Not today. Hey, Sean. How you doing again, bud? Week was terrible. I got my first vaccination. And I had some tests on some spinal tumors. But they came back still benign, so everything's good. So bad week, wonderful finish. I hope you've had a good week as well. Mahrez is... Wait, who... Oh, Daff, are you saying that Tsimikas was defensively liable? Then yes, he was. You had an 84-point week last week. Your plan, make no transfers, has already backfired. You've dropped Watkins to more pay. Now, that's understandable, Sean, because Watkins has been ruled out. So if you've not got anyone to come in, then that's a legit one. I got 84 points as well, Sean. So we're score buddies. Didn't realize it was that high. And yeah, and that's it, Daff. That happens all the time. If you don't know, again, if you captain Mahrez and he outdoes Salah and Bruno, that's great. But if you have Salah and Bruno and they get something and you've not captained them, it's gonna do nothing. If Salah gets 10 points and you don't captain him, and then Salah's going to be so highly owned captain, his effective ownership is going to be so high with captaincy that his 10 points for you is 20 points for everyone else, and it's going to be nothing. But that's the risk. That's the joy of the game. If you captain Mahrez and he bangs a 20-point haul and Salah and Bruno blank, you're sky high this week. It all depends on your play style. How do you want to play it? Your plan doesn't change though, really. You just want to save your transfer to Gameweek 5 now. Yeah, because you put your transfer plan last week. But look, Watkins had a bruised knee. So we were like, oh, he should be fine for Gameweek 1. He's got a bruised knee. And now he's out for 2 weeks. So it's strange. What's the plan with Veltman if he drops before Gameweek 3 deadline? Then I'll use one of my 2 transfers to take him out to another 4.5. But again, I don't think there's a lot of people... He's isolating. He's not injured. He's not dropped. He's isolating. So I kind of feel as though if he's dropping, I'll take him out because a 4.5 to a 4.4 really screws me up. And I'll have 2 free transfers anyway. And I'll let you into something, guys. My free transfer, one of them, I only plan to use one of them next week, and it's going to be Salah to Bruno. Because again, I'm sticking with the plan of I'm not having both of them. And with Salah against Chelsea, and then this weird little thing happening with international stuff, red listed countries like Martinez might have to go, which is horrible. I didn't, a lot of us didn't know what was going to happen, but especially the South American teams, like it's like they get back like September 10th and the game's like September 11th. It's really not looking good. Like Martinez will be out before Veltman is if he doesn't play, because I won't have a goalkeeper. I only have 10 men, which would be awful. Hey, Shwaytex, welcome back, buddy. The man with Pinnock. Let's hope Mane scores while Salah blanks. No, let's not hope that. He's my captain. I'm captain Bruno this week because I just think he'll outscore Salah, so go. Always, Sean. Like I said right at the start, if you choose Salah or if you choose Bruno as your captain and it doesn't pay off, don't get angry at the result. Your decision is absolutely sound. If you captain Bruno or if you captain Salah, no one is thinking, oh, what a stupid idiot. What a terrible decision that is. Because it's not. Krista, thoughts on the new Puma 3rd kits? I tweeted about this. Krista, I think they are the worst bunch of kits I've ever seen. Ridiculous. They don't even look good enough to be training kits. Pick 2 to start from Dyer, Kufal, and Cash. Cash would start. And I'd have to go Kufal or Sufal over Eric Dyer. I think Eric Dyer still plays. I think he will play. But I'd rather have an attacking Kufal against Leicester. Even though it's a difficult fixture, they're at home. But I'd rather have an attacking fullback against Leicester than a centre-half against Wolves, I think. Hey, Penguin, rolling the transfer. Captain Mo, same as me, mate. Same as me. I think this is really strange territory, guys, because actually, game week 1 to game week 2, you'll usually see hits. You'll see a few wild cards pop out. But because it was such a template game week, like everything template, everything mass thought in FPL last week happened. Everything. Basically every player we thought would get something got something. It was crazy. Bruno looked phenomenal last week, so you thought United can steamroll anyone, to be honest, with Southampton. Southampton, I've actually predicted Southampton to get relegated every year for like the last 4 or 5 years, or in deep trouble, because every year they sell all their best players. They sell them all the time. And this year, they've not even replaced them. It's crazy. But the thing with Bruno is he was just lethal. Like, his XG was, I want to say, was it 0.69 or 1.69? Something like that. But he got a hat trick. And he was supposed to only get like one goal. He was just absolutely clinical. But when you watch Mo Salah, I couldn't believe it. So one of the beautiful things about us owning Mo Salah, right, is he's greedy. If you've got an FPL player and they're greedy, you love it. Because you want all the points for your FPL team, right? And Mo Salah is one of the, in a good way, if he's yours, the greediest players. I still remember when Mane and Salah fell out at Burnley. Do you guys remember that? Was it last season? I think it was the season before. And then Klopp took Mane off and Mane was fuming. So cut back to last week against Norwich. He's already got his points, his goals, his assists, whatever. And it's getting to what, like the 88th minute? And he's in on goal. Favorite, he's on the right side. You're thinking he's just going to slot it with his left. And then he tries to make an assist. Mo Salah. And I couldn't believe any other season, he'd have just been like, I'm just going to take this one-on-one shot. And he tried to get an assist and failed. I couldn't believe it. That would have taken him higher than Bruno. It was nuts. Bruno is going to score super hat-trick and you will cry. Get Son out and Kufal in. That is just not going to happen. Son is bad against Wolves. They have a new manager and a new setup. Bruno might score. That is true. But there's no way I'm taking Son out for Sufal. And even if that pays off, that's a 1 in 100. Not even considering that. Ridiculous. Who would you start out of Ayling, Dean, and Kufal? Well, again, I'd come to the fullbacks. You've got home fixtures I'm backing a lot this time because the fans are back. So, for example, Ayling, Leeds have waited like 16 years to play Premier League football in front of their fans. Are they going to rise to the occasion? Are they going to be too nervous? But still, you've got the fans. Luca Dean, deadly. They're focusing on crosses and getting the ball into Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, which I did talk about Rafa's style in pre-season. He relies on crosses. He's a great option. And Sufal is a fantastic option too. But Sufal's got Leicester. Luca Dean is away, and that would put me off. If you put this on a blank slate, I'd say Luca Dean, then Sufal, then Ayling. If you drop Martinez, you can get on the Sarr train like you, the Wolves keeper. From game week 4, I think, right, Sean? I want to see more of Wolves and the new setup and the new manager. He's thinking about having Shaw as captain. Again, I talked about this earlier. I wouldn't be taking captaincy punts in a week where Bruno's got Southampton and Salah's got Burnley. That is a kind of punt to take. So, for example, Trent. Liverpool are very, very likely today to get a clean sheet, which is a 6-pointer going to a 12-point for your captain, which means that if you can get an assist and some bonus points, it's going to take a lot for Salah or Bruno to beat that, right? So the likes of Trent would be a good captaincy option, but not in a game week, I think, when it's a good attacking option for Salah and Bruno. Where's that? So they've lost Inns and Vesgard and not replaced them. I think they've just almost signed a lad, I think, from Torino for like 7.5 million with a couple of million add-on. But again, you've got an established Premier League defender like Vestergaard who's key to your team, and you've got Ings who's scored the majority of your points for so long, and you've brought in Armstrong who might be good without any Premier League proven ability, and then some guy from Italy. Rafinha, Benrahma, and Barnes bench one. Bench one of them. So that's really difficult. I wouldn't bench Rafinha. He's at home to Everton. And I've talked about the Leeds fans already, but Benrahma and Barnes, that is difficult. I'm not gonna lie, Gus. I'm glad I don't have that decision to make. I'd probably bench Benrahma because I felt as though the likes of Bowen was actually looking more lively. And if you've got Antonio or Soufal in your team already, then I wouldn't be too worried about Benrahma. I think Barnes has more to give, but he might be only 70-minute man. So if you want a 90-minute man, then maybe Benrahma. The old trust me. You're keeping Bruno as captain. You're just thinking about sure you need to play safe at the moment. Yeah, and like I said, it's just not. It's not the right time, I think, to take a punt. See, that's fine. Hold on. There we go. See, the good thing about my own channel is people can discuss and give suggestions and have disagreements. That is completely fine. But if you're just spamming rubbish in the chat, I don't need you in the channel, and I don't need you in the chat. It's as simple as that. So it'll be a timeout, and that's fine. We all have disagreements and we all have different views. But when you're just being like this, I'm just I don't need you in the channel. I don't want you here. That's the beauty of having this small community, is that we all chat with each other and we all disagree or agree or have our own views. But if you're just going to be like that, then you're not welcome. It's as simple as that. Mulder, do I think I'll bring Lukaku in the future? No. See, now this is interesting when it comes to the idea of having not Salah and Bruno. That extra money can give me something like Salah and Son and Lukaku. I just think Lukaku is a little bit too expensive. I think anything more than 10.5 million for a forward, they gotta be like Kane last season good. And I'm just not gonna. I know he's been in the Premier League before, of course, and I know he's got his ability and things. And Chelsea from game week 7, I believe, have a really good run of fixtures. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until I see something before I jump in and rearrange my team for that. Hey, thanks, Mitch. Thanks for coming back from the Football Manager days, Mitch. Yeah, everything went well. Thank you. It was good news. No like cancer in my spine or anything like that, so it's all good. We need to see. Yeah. Shreya, you've just said exactly what I said about Lukaku. We need to see, and I said pre-season I didn't want to be taking a punt on players I don't know. Now we do know Lukaku. I think that's a little bit of a difference, right? We know Lukaku from Everton, we know Lukaku from Man United, we know Lukaku from Belgium, and we've probably seen him in Italy. We know what he can do. I just want to see what he's like in that system. I want to see where he's going to play, how he's going to play. And 11.5 million, guys, is a lot of money. And with Chelsea's fixtures, the glorious thing is, I feel we can wait. I know they've got Arsenal today. Maybe Lukaku plays, maybe he bullies them. That's fine. But then he's got Liverpool away. Yeah, he might get something, but 11.5 million is a lot to pump in. Yeah, cheers, Mitch. Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks for popping in. Hi, Chris. Good to see you as well. Appreciate the support, guys. It's very kind of you. 115 points last game week. Nice. I'm genuinely actually happy with 84 points. Like as soon as Bruno went absolutely rampant against Leeds, I just thought, no, not again. Please, not like this. And then it turned out all right. To be fair to Lukaku, you think he'll get a lot of chances. Think how many? Yeah, and also, and this is gonna sound really stupid, but the thicker lines of the VAR, because Werner got called offside a lot last season, and I think having those thicker lines are gonna help the forwards this time around. So again, it all comes down, and like I said preseason, like I said in those streams before, it all comes down to how many points your entire team gets. And having an 11.5 million Lukaku, I'd rather have Bruno and Salah, because I know he's 12.1 now, but Bruno's easily 0.6 million more like worth it than Lukaku, in my opinion. We'd have to see something. We'd have to see something special from Romelu to get into my team. Something that might surprise you as well. If Harry Kane goes to Man City, he's probably not in my team. Because there's still going to be Pep Roulette. He's still going to get rested for some. So, for example, let's say City get towards the knockouts and they want to win the Champions League, and they're already walking away with the Premier League. He's going to get rested in the Premier League. It's a lot of money, and I'd rather split that money and try and get points elsewhere. No real plan for something game week 3 and 4, and he scares me. Yeah, a lot of people like that, but always remember, if you're sat there with Bruno and Salah, but no Son, and I'm here with Salah and Son, I'm probably more scared of not having Bruno than you're scared of not having Son. Lukaku needs to score assists every game to be a good pick. Exactly. Lukaku would have to get pretty much something every game to be worth it. Because remember, forwards get fewer points in FPL than midfielders. So it just won't be worth it. So you'd have to keep going and going and going and going. Denver with the Bruno captain. Again, like it. If you're captaining Bruno, you're captaining Salah, fantastic choices. If I had both of them, real tough. Really, really tough. Salah is the more attacking player in terms of he plays as more like the forward compared to Bruno, who sits behind. I think Bruno, this is going to sound weird, and I'm not trying to be bitter, but Bruno shouldn't have got a hat trick last week. There was nothing in his stats or nothing that I saw that made me think he should have got that many goals. I'm not going to be surprised if he goes out there today and gets 2 assists. I'm going to be surprised if he goes out there and gets a couple of goals again. He's a quality player. He is a quality player. And I've never suggested the likes of Salah or Bruno are not top players. They are. I'm just not having both because I'm trying to attack the rank and try and get as high as I can. And I feel as though having both Bruno and Salah is just not going to be the way to try and get up there. Which 2 would I play? Tony, Digne, Chilwell. I don't even know if Chilwell's ready yet. So I'd say Tony and Luca Dean. Because I don't know what's happening with those Chelsea boys yet. Best 4 million defender to swap for Simicast. Duffy. No, I think Duffy will be out in a couple of weeks. I would say the Southampton one. Williams if he goes to Norwich. But I've seen some Norwich fans saying that they don't think he's going to play. He'll be backup. But I don't think he'd go if he was backup. I would go for... I'd go for the Southampton guy. The Southampton 4 million. If you were going to stick with a 4 million. Because Duff is short term. Williams, it's not even confirmed yet. So if you make that transfer and he stays at United, then that ain't good. Yeah, Sean, you're right. The fact he scored 3 and none were penalties. This week he's going to score a penalty. Probably. Sod's law. Which agree regarding Lukaku. Salah and Bruno are far better picks in terms of consistency. Lukaku might score 1 every 2. Yep, exactly. And if you've got Lukaku, and remember, if he just gets a goal and Chelsea win 1-0, he's probably not getting bonus. Right? So you're getting a player who's like 11.5 million, probably getting you 6 points a week. That is not good. That is not good value for money. Because if Chelsea win 1-0 and he scores the goal, then the midfielder and the defenders will likely get higher bonus than he will. Or if it's 2-0 and he doesn't do anything for the second goal, he's not getting bonus. the same vein, Salah should not have had 2 assists. The assist for Joe was a total fluke. But what I'm saying, Denver, is I talked about Salah earlier. There was a couple of chances that he had and he missed. Whereas I didn't see the chances that Bruno had. He was just clinical. You think Alonso plays after last week's performance? Mulder, I think Tuchel, the Chelsea manager, I think he's ruthless. I think he'll play who he wants to play. But the problem with Chelsea is they rotated the back, so it's just not for me. So I'm Bruno pretty good for a goal or assist. Pretty much. Oh yeah, I read that. When you score a hat trick, you always overperform stats. But what I'm saying is, like, wasn't it like 3 goals from 4? I can check it, guys, because I'm part of the Scout network, so I'm allowed to say I get the stats from there, guys. Let's have a look. Goal threat. Game week 1 to game week. It's not gonna matter, is it? All right. So goals, we know who got the goals. 4 goal attempts. Bruno Fernandes, 3 goals. So he's had 4 shots and 3 of them have gone in. So that they have it. He had 3 penalty area touches. So he's had 4 goal attempts. He's had 3 touches of the ball inside the opposition penalty area. And he's scored 3 goals. That's what I'm trying to talk about. That's what I mean when I'm saying, like, I understand. You get a hat trick, you've outperformed your stats. But when you've only touched the ball 3 times in the opposition penalty area and you've scored 3 goals, I think that is that's explaining what I'm trying to say. Let's just have a quick check up on the Mo. And the same with Pogba. What was it? 4 assists from Pogba. Absolutely incredible. Where's Mo? This is strange. He's not. Salah's not on the list. Wow, this is weird. Okay, Salah's not on the list for some reason. I'll have to find him individually. That's worrying. Salah's not even on the list. Let's have a look now. Mo Salah. Okay, someone has deleted his stats from Fantasy Football Scout. This is outrageous. Well, I'm sure they were good. I'll have to check them later. Let me just check. Kyle Walker Peters his first choice right back, though. Yeah, and that's the thing, Chris, though. Like, there isn't a 4 million choice. We all know the likes of Duffy and Simicast are short-term options. If you're that worried, you'll have to get a 4.5 million defender. Target versus Soufal. I'd have to say Target at home to Newcastle. But no. Ooh, wait a minute. Krista, I would have said Matt Target, but he got hooked at half-time last week. That would worry me. Now, I don't know if that's we didn't set up right against Watford here. Target, off your pop, we need to change it up. Or that's a Target, I'm severely disappointed in you. Get off my football pitch. So I'm going off fixture and teams. I've got to say back Target, but getting hooked at half time, I'd have to say Soufal for safety. So if you want to risk it a little bit, Target. If not, Soufal. I think whoever starts this week, his first choice ahead of Semedo. Nah, they just got from Barcelona. Sure, I know it's a new manager, but surely Semedo comes back into that team. Yeah, Semedo is our first choice, been playing well. I'd be mega surprised if he's still not there. You'd rather have Havertz personally. And I'm going to do you one better here, Sean. I'd rather have Mason Mount from Game Week 7. He's someone that, when I was doing a lot of my preseason stats, every single time, no matter what price range I was looking at, every single player that massively stood out for the value that they have was Mason Mount. Like, his stats for his price is magnificent. And for 7.5 million, if I'm wildcarding before Game Week 7, I'd be very, very surprised if I don't have Mason Mount. I mean, I only didn't start the season with Mason Mount because they said that he wasn't going to start. And because of the Thursday Super Cup game put me off. Chilwell dropped to 5.9. Yep. Because people think, oh my God, he's not played. And then they don't realize they just joined the squad late. Can you check that Salah like for Bruno? I'm trying. It's his stats are off. I don't know. I don't even know who to ask, guys, to be honest. I wish I could tell you. But for some reason his stats aren't there. They were before. And now they're not. Because I did want to compare, but I still gave the point I said about that. But yeah, Salah, he's gone from there, guys. This is crazy. Reason you go for Bruno is mostly due to gut instinct, form of the opponent. Burnley game has a bigger chance. I completely agree. Burnley's going to go to Anfield. They're probably going to play 4-5-1. They're going to sit back. They're going to try and hit him on a set piece or a counter. That's fine. But chances are Liverpool's going to win 2-0 and Sal's going to get 2 goals. Saints, Southampton look abysmal. They've lost their star striker. They've lost their key centre-half. They look absolutely all over the place. And I say again, there's no downside, in my opinion, to captaining either of them. In fact, for mental reasons, I would probably back Bruno. Because if Salah is your captain and he's got the early kickoff and he blanks, you're going to have a crappy weekend. So that's another way. Again, remember, FPL is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a game as well. So that's another way to look at it. Luke Shaw captain, risky. Yeah, Rainer, we talked about it before. This isn't the week for, in my opinion, to be making a captaincy shout like that. Just happy to see my Euro fantasy videos do well. Decided to take a break from fantasy and not play. Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. It went crazy towards the end. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I agree. Denver Burnley will be tight at the back. Yep. Hey, Dexter. Looks like you're banking a transfer captain. So, yeah, a lot of us doing that. I think it's a good move. I always say one of my top suggestions is to try and keep 2 free transfers in your pocket. Luca Dino or Rafinha. I'd have to back the attacker in that. I'd have to say Rafinha. Captain Salah or Bruno. Well, I've just talked about that. You'll double on Chelsea defense and Lukaku. Don't really trust them mid options. If you did the Matt or Havertz. Yeah, correct. And that's it. I'd probably have 1 Chelsea defender and maybe Mount. Liverpool 1, Burnley 0, Salah scores. No, not Mane. For this game week, if you were to transfer Chilwell out, who would I bring in? Oh, but he's 5.9 million though, so you can only bring a 5.5 million defender in, which sucks. I'd be tempted by Cresswell. I know he's got Leicester. I know. Before you tell me, I know. Pereira, I thought his assist last week was absolutely fantastic, but he's got City in game week 4. Reguilon might be a good option. I think Reguilon had a fantastic game against Manchester City. He's got Wolves, Watford, and Palace in the next few. He might be a good shout. Just 5.9 million really blows, man, because you got to drop down. Luca Dean, I still think he's good until you do your first wildcard. I know he's got Leeds today. He's got United in game week 7, but he's gold until game week 11 or 12. So hey, Raina. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the subscription. Shout out and Liverpool game for you. Good luck. Yeah, good luck, Chris. Good luck, buddy. And yeah, exactly, Sean. And that's why I said so good that Simicast is 4.1 million. Because if he goes down, it's just back to 4. And who cares, right? Yeah, Pinnock captain. What a shout that was last week. Did he end up the highest scoring defender? 4th. Yeah, nuts. What a shout. I didn't even know who he was. That's how ignorant I was last week, guys. One sec. A little bit worrying that he's Salah's just gone. No, Mo. Well, it's not going to do much good now. I mean, if you're going to captain Salah, you're going to captain him now, aren't you? It's not going to matter. So future plans. I did say earlier on in the stream that I'm likely to go Salah to Bruno next week with one of my transfers, and I'm going to keep my eyes on Veltman and keep my eyes on Martinez. Because if Rafinha's back late, Martinez is back late, I could be in a little bit, and Salah's back late, could be in a bit of a pickle. Do you realize today was Saturday, thought it was Friday because of the streams? True. Just a reminder, guys, like 15 minutes. Yeah, double check your team, guys. It's 6 o'clock because that's my local time, but that's like 15 minutes from now. So go lock your teams in, make your transfer. You don't want to be leaving it too late because the site crashes. That's just, it's the last thing that you guys want to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of my players are at home, plus the one on the bench, which I think is pretty good. And my away players are Son and Shaw. So, and Barnes. I don't think that's too bad at all. I'm just double checking my own team now, Sean. Actually, yeah. I just, like I said, it's Salah or Bruno for me, and with the chances of so many players coming back late, I just don't want to have Salah against Chelsea, and then I don't have him for game week 4, and I've got 12.6 million wasted, absolutely wasted. No point. You think Villa will shore up at the back? They've got good players abroad. Yeah, like I said, it's just a new machine working together, and they need time to gel. That's all it is. But unfortunately, in terms of fantasy football, we're not really going to have that opportunity to do that because we have from game week 3. After game week 3, we're probably going to get rid of a lot of them. I would have loved to have just gone Ings to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but he's had a bloody price rise. So I'm probably going to go with Richarlison at the moment. Of course, anything can change within the next 2 to 3 game weeks. Outside of FPL, my reaction to F1 season until now, I've been loving it. In fact, I did some races. I'm up to like 80 difficulty. I do manual gears, no traction control, no brake control. Like I'm pretty much off. I've had to put the corners back on. I don't know the tracks well enough. Only the corners though. I've just been enjoying. I've been enjoying that. And I still think Hamilton should have had a bigger punishment with Max Verstappen, if I'm honest. And the Bottas bowling incident was ridiculous. And then I think it was Stroll took out Norris. Crazy. You had a plan Mane to Son and then maybe Armstrong to Antonio. But now I'm thinking about goalkeeper since you've got Martinez. But yeah, that's the same problem as me. I would just hold off. I mean, next week we've got to use a transfer or we lose it, right? So maybe that's the time to take Simicast out if you've not got anything to do, or take out someone else that you want to jiggle about. We were allowed to go Watkins to Richarlison last week, but forced to go Morpay. Why? Richarlison's gone up by 0.1, hasn't he, Sean? It was so funny because pre-season, the first thing I did with Scout, I talked about Richarlison, and everyone's like, "You idiot! He's going to the Olympics. He's in the. He's never gonna start. You fool! And you want to back Richarlison? You moron!" I was like, "I double up on them. I'm tempted to double up." And then the Olympics did put me off, and then he hadn't even trained, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin was wearing normal trainers at a training session. And next news, no minutes of pre-season, 0 minutes of pre-season. So I'm like, well, I can't start a player who hasn't kicked a ball and he's pictured in his trainers, and another player who hasn't even come back into the country. And then lo and behold, they both have a little bit of a sesh. But fortunately, Ings and Antonio did the bits for me. Someone agreed. Hamilton said bigger penalty. He did. He massively did. He was not wheel to wheel. He was not side by side, and there was width. Yes, I do play F1 Fantasy. I do. And I've actually been doing pretty decent on it. But my second team, I take punts on my second team of 3 instead of my first team. And my second team has been absolutely nuts. Like, for example, I think I had Ocon when he won it, right? Last time out. And I backed Norris a lot this season. The whole season I backed Norris. Is Salah triple captain a good idea? Young, I would say no. Not because it's not a good idea. Just save the chips for the double game weeks. You're giving yourself double the chance. You haven't looked at it since week 1. I have my highest team is 2,058 points. That's how many points I've got in F1. And that puts me... There's not like an overall rank. I'm 26k in the McLaren League of 250k. Oh, no, that's my main team. That's not my third team. In the Formula 1 official YouTube League, I'm 3k. So it's pretty good. He was doomed in Silverstone in Hungary. He had MD on max. Yep. That did me. I used my what is MD? It's not Isn't it TD? Not MD. Isn't it TD? Because it's triple points, isn't it? And you can play it on any one. Can't remember what the acronym stands for. I did the same thing. I put it's basically the triple captainship in Formula 1, and I put it on Verstappen because he was on a roll and he was dominating, and then Hamilton took him out. So even though I've got such a good rank, my big chip bust. What's it called? TDs every week. MD is Mega Driver. That's it. Mega Driver. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck. You did it because sprint quality. Yep. And he did well in that as well. I was gutted. All right, guys. I'm going to call it with 10 minutes left to go. Make sure you get off and do your transfers. I'm like 99% not going to change anything here. If I do, follow me on Twitter. This is my Twitter. At FPL Hall. If anything changes, I'll post it onto here. But I don't think it's going to. I'm not going to make a unless some breaking news comes out like Salah dropped or something, you know, like then I'm not going to change. So yeah, do I think Gundogan is a good player to have? I think it's too late to take him out now. He's already dropped one. I'd just risk it and play him. So good luck to everyone. Follow me on Twitter, like, subscribe, all the stuff like that if you're interested. Usually my streams are on a Friday, lunchtime, between 12 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, UK time. And there should be a video out next week as well. So good luck for this game week, guys. Go sort out your team, finalize it, make sure you got the right captain, and take it easy on yourself. If you've got Bruno and Salah, captain one of them, it's a good decision. Okay, you should be fine. So take it easy, guys. Thank you. And yeah, have a good one. See you later, guys.